Us on this edition of NTA News Nationwide, kicking off from Abuja, the nation's capital territory. My name is Ogechi Paul. President Muhammadu Buhari has said that the police will be strengthened to be more proactive in maintaining law and order and protecting lives and property in the face of current insurgency. The president was speaking at the National Security Summit organized by the Nigerian police and some newspapers in Abuja.
To attempt to erect and maintain an efficient, disciplined, people-friendly and well-compensated security architecture. Effective policing of a society is dependent on the level of security consciousness of the students and the strength of the understanding that exists between the policing agencies and the community.
General Police Solomon Araso assured the President that officers and men of the force are ready to embrace change and win the confidence of the public, while Sultan of Sokoto Saad Abubakar called for housekeeping to get a corrupt-free police force.
Police force and other national agencies must join the crusade against corruption. Regardless of how well trained and equipped an organization is, it cannot attain its full potential if it allows corruption and corrupt elements to grace the corridors.
Still talking security, the United States government resolved to throw its weight behind the Muhammadu Buhari administration to fight crime and insecurity has been demonstrated by the training of Nigeria's security agencies at the EFCC Academy in Abuja. The focus is to check illicit cross-border financing. Nancy Godian reports.
Most of the criminal challenges facing the world today, ranging from money laundering to terrorism, are seen in the Middle East, Latin America, including parts of Nigeria and its neighbors like Niger, Chad and Cameroon. Experts have traced to illicit money movements. That is why the U.S. Embassy in Nigeria organized this training to further enlighten Nigeria security outfits on how to track the illegal act, in addition to a donation of a cash counting machine to facilitate EFCC's work.
Our main goal here is to help the Nigerian people, the Nigerian government, stop the flow of financial funds. And as one of our speakers said, if you take away the money, then you take away the reason why people do crime.
The EFCC, reputed for crime investigation, has been in this fight for years.
The EFCC has benefited from several training programs organized by the United States, both locally here in Nigeria and in Ghana, Malta, Botswana and the United States. The impact of such exposure on the operations of the Commission is invaluable.
On the 27th of June, a formal MOU was signed in Dakar between the NASIWA and the EFCC Academy. And following on that, in September, we will roll out the very first program for anti-corruption investigators and prosecutors and administrators in West Africa.
Participants were drawn from the police, NDLEA, immigration and customs.
This time around, it's not going to be business as usual.
Indeed, this training by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and the EFCC, for all security watchdogs in Nigeria, lends a more formidable approach to fighting the menace of cross-border money movements. Nancy Godian, NTA News.
The Nigerian Army has appointed a new commander for Operation Lafia Dole, General Ishal Mashood Abubakar. A statement from the office of the Acting Director, Army Public Relations, Colonel Isani Kukasheka, says the action is to meet up with the established timeline of bringing to a successful conclusion the fight against terrorism and insurgency. The statement adds that this is the first time the Nigerian Army is deploying core headquarters in the field. The statement notes that the appointment is with immediate effect. Ahead of the forthcoming gubernatorial election in Kogi State, Governor Idris Waba has empowered security agents in the state for quality service delivery. Correspondent Solomon Ayedehi reports that the effort is in line with the commitment of the state government to rid the state of crime.
current efforts of the state government were geared towards strengthening the operational capacity of the men of Nigerian police in combating crime in Kogi State. A total of 20 million vehicles, 225 metal detectors, and other security gadgets were commissioned and distributed to security agents by Governor Wada. With the presentation of the vehicle, I'm confident that the police will now deploy higher facilities to drive away the evil people in our midst, while urging the police to use the facilities for the purpose intended. His administration, Captain Wada, promised will continue to do its best towards protecting the lives and property of the people, particularly during the forthcoming state gubernatorial election. All we have to say is that we have to double our efforts and ensure that the people of the state can stay and take their lives well. Kogi State government has before now distributed 20 brand new bills.
Joining Lagos now, Human Rights Commission takes a holistic approach on the use of torture. Details with Demola in our Lagos studio. Demola, it's good to see you. Take it away.
Good afternoon and welcome to Lagos. The National Human Rights Commission has commenced investigation into alleged physical torture and abuse of two suspects, which led to the death of one of them at the maximum security prison, Kirikiri, in Lagos. Musa Tolia reports that the investigation is being carried out by the Commission at the instance of the Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, with a view to upholding justice for the inmates.
The investigation team of the National Human Rights Commission, led by the Executive Secretary, Professor Bem Angwe, paid an unscheduled visit to the maximum security prison, Kirikiri, to get first-hand information on the deceased inmates. Medical Superintendent of the prison clinic, Dr. Hemesin Edwin, was invited to explain the findings of his medical team when the late inmate Suleiman Yerima was taken to the clinic.
Suleiman Yerima, yes. So he collapsed in the mosque. Did you examine him? Because if somebody collapses and is brought to you, you have a responsibility. From the records, the nurses and duty, he died on arrival.
The torture and continued detention of the other inmates without trial also received the attention of the Human Rights Commission fact-finding team.
We are going to ensure that we see the end of this, and we are also going to ensure that Nigerians will never be treated like this.
The fact-finding team also decried the number of inmates awaiting trial, which stands at 704 as against 392 convicted ones. Since both inmates were accused of financial crimes, the National Human Rights Commission proceeded to the Lagos Zonal Office of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) to ascertain their involvement in the alleged torture of the suspects.
We trace records, we trace documents, so they are going to be enemy for us to export compulsory statements.
The Executive Secretary of the National Human Rights Commission, Professor Bem Angwe, says the next port of call will be Zone 2 of the Nigerian Police, which he disclosed operates a torture squad known as the X Squad at the Onikon office of the command. In Lagos, Musa Tolia, NTA News.
As the electricity industry continues to evolve, particularly given the privatization of the industry, issues such as exploitation, labor matters and consumer rights are bound to come up, particularly with the dearth of knowledge of the workings of the industry. To address these challenges, a book titled Nigerian Electricity Law has been published and presented in Lagos. Jane Duko has the report.
The 13-chapter book, written by two legal practitioners, Anthony Wajugo and Okechukwu Ebirim, explained in detail the rudiments of Nigerian electricity law and practice as it relates to legal and judicial practitioners, consumers, investors, and the regulator. The reviewer, Chief Anthony Idigbe SAN, represented by Mr. Nnamdi Oragu, described the book as a veritable resource material for all stakeholders.
This book is therefore a big share. It's a legal record and it's advocacy on the movement of Nigerian electricity law and practice.
The book was endorsed by industry players who turned out for the presentation.
This book does not only touch on the regulation and the regulatory bits about the electricity industry. It also touches on aspects of the investment into the sector.
There are invaluable information. For instance, I'm learning for the first time today that will have different metering systems.
The inspiration behind this book is to open up the eyes of the investing public, particularly the local investing public. I cover the evolution of the industry, the electricity industry, the licensing.
The authors explained that the book, which they term as work in progress, will continue to be updated to cover emerging trends and developments in the electricity industry. In Lagos, Jane Ojukwu, NTA News.
Residents and motorists plying Ahmadu Bello Way and Akiadishola streets on Victoria Island will soon give a sigh of relief as the deplorable portions of the roads have been fixed. Doris' report is presented from our studios.
The hold up is too much. Let the government fix the road for us. I've been on this road for some years now. I don't know why a contract should be given. From that point to this place, they left it for the past 1 year now.
That has changed now, as bad portions of the road on Ahmadu Bello Way have now been fixed. The remaining portion of the road, close to the traffic light of Adola Depot, is now wearing a new look. The road was repaired during the weekend.
They come and finish up from here to that traffic light, and which 2 weeks ago they stopped from here. Before now it was not much of but now I think it's fair. You have about it, the government. It's okay, at least we can move freely.
However, repair work is ongoing on Akiadishola Street, as half the road is nearly completed.
There are free flow of transport. They are really trying their best, because you can see that they are already fixed the road.
A bit better now compared to before.
I know say the thing they do now better thing. I don't know if the place goes, so go ahead, maybe remember to work the road, but I thank God.
With this new development, it is expected that the traffic congestion that is usually associated with these roads will soon be a thing of the past.
Well, that's our package from Lagos. Is back to you, Ogechi, for more on Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Demola. Improving the poor state of Nigerian roads will require all emergency intervention fund and reviewing the responsibility of agencies mandated with road constitution, maintenance and transport policy formulation. Guests in Monday's edition of NTU's program Good Morning Nigeria also suggested that the high cost of road construction in Nigeria, aided by corruption links, to be tackled once and for all. Nigerian reports.
The poor state of Nigerian roads has been blamed on several factors, including substandard construction, irregular maintenance, abuse of roads by users, insufficient funds, as well as corruption.
The Senate set up a special committee, a special ad hoc committee just on roads in Nigeria. The very fact that over 90 senators attended their state lectures to cause positive of their emotion attest to the reality of the situation on the ground.
Discussants say the way forward is to review the functions of agencies tasked with the responsibility of producing roads.
I don't think we really need a task force right now. Rather, we need to get what we have working. If they are not working, scrap them. That when there is issue of corruption, there are some criminality beyond what our ethical committee can deal with. Listen to ICTC.
Others advocated for an intervention fund to address the insufficiency of resources for road infrastructure.
The intervention agency might also be situated on existing platform. But if you declare an emergency for a particular area, then it means that we are going to get the parliament to support a better budget process, that the cost of a kilometer network of Nigerian road is higher than the cost of any award any part of the world.
Above all, the discussants agreed that unless other means of transportation, particularly the rail, is developed, roads will continue to be overstretched. Amina Jane, NTA News.
It's time to join Ibadan, where the Alaafin of Oyo has received his letter of confirmation as Chancellor of University of Maiduguri. Plus, resident doctors call off over 3 months strike. Listen more with Kenny about the Network Center. Hello, Kenny. It's over to you.
Thank you and for joining us in Ibadan. The federal government is taking measures to eradicate poor agricultural states and improve food production and other agricultural products. To this end, a number of vendors of poor agricultural states have been arrested in Oyo State. Respondent Olumide Sola completes the report. In recent times, farmers in Nigeria and the country at large have lost billions of naira at international markets due to activities of marketers that sell unwholesome seeds. To put this under control, security men and a team of National Agricultural Seed Council stormed agricultural seeds markets in Oyo State to arrest perpetrators of the unwholesome act. Substandard and non-viable seeds were seized, with some of the culprits pleading for leniency.
Are you starting from the land preparation or the labor or the chemical? If eventually the farmer buy this type of seed and it ended up not germinating. So the loss is enormous, and this is one of the things that is contributing to low productivity in Nigeria.
Last say that the activities of the culprits are doing more harm to the nation than good. Instead that farmers should always demand for certification card before buying seeds.
People selling bad and adulterated seed, we will not take it. If you are caught, your seed will be seized. And if you resist, we may even charge you to court.
One of the alleged marketers of the poor seeds said he was not aware of the issue of poor seeds.
I don't have their receipt in the national seed. About 4 years ago, I bought from them.
The exercise continues across the country. In Ibadan, Olumide Sola, NTA News. The Association of Resident Doctors University College Hospital, UCH Ibadan, has suspended its over 3 months industrial action. Correspondent Oyeyeka Falawani visited the hospital in our report. The suspension of the strike followed a directive after an emergency general meeting of the association on Friday, August 14, 2015, that all its members should resume to their duty post on Monday, 17th August, while negotiation continues. President, Association of Resident Doctors, UCH, Dr. Lukman Obujimi said the decision also followed intervention by some notable Nigerians and the interest of patients. While regretting the negative impact of the strike on the patients, Dr. Obujimi called on the UCH management to make good its promises.
A statement of fact that UCH management did not deny is that there was an increase of 140 million in the personnel subvention of the hospital. Our stand as a Congress is that this can be used to pay people. Face payment of salary from personnel subvention can never be misappropriation.
Some patients bear their minds.
As in patients can come, not everyone can afford to go to a private hospital or private clinic, so they kind of relief.
Yeah, they attended to me and there's no problem.
The resident doctors at UCH had embarked on the strike action since May 1st, 2015 to demand improved clinical service delivery, implementation of the federal government's directive of 2013 and other conditions of service. In Ibadan, Oyeyeka Falawani, NTA News. The Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Lamidi Adeyemi, has assured the University of Maiduguri community and the education sector in Nigeria to use his position and influence to take the university to greater heights. The traditional ruler gave the assurance while receiving the letter confirming him as the Chancellor of the university from the institution's Vice Chancellor, Professor Ibrahim Ugodi. Here are details of the report.
Describing it as another milestone achieved in its 40 years pursuit of excellence in tertiary education in Nigeria, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Maiduguri, Professor Ibrahim Ugodi, representing the letter confirming the Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Lamidi Adeyemi III, as Chancellor of the university, said the university is highly elated that the federal government appointed the monarch as the Chancellor of the university and expressed confidence that the university will benefit immensely from the wealth
up estates of the Oyo monarch. I have studied about him very well. I know he's somebody full of energy, full of ideas, and he is willing to support any good intention, like the one we have at the University of Abuja. The university revealed through the Vice Chancellor, Professor Jedi, that the institution will intimate the Yoruba monarch its plans to showcase him to the university community at the 22nd combined convocation. The Alaafin of Oyo, Balabuja Adeyemi III, in his response, assured the university delegates that he is going to take active part in the development of the institution. And I take it as a challenge that the everything in the past, God will wisdom, talent to bear the challenges of the university. And for news.
From Ibadan, back to Ogechi.
Thank you, Kenny. Individuals and organizations that have impacted positively on their immediate environment and also contributed to the socio-economic development of the nation are to be conferred with Productivity Merit Awards. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Labour and Productivity, Dr. Clement Ilo, gave the indication while intimating the media on the forthcoming 15th edition of the National Productivity Day and conferment of the National Productivity Order of Merit Award. Correspondent Emmanuel Awumere tells us more.
Activity consciousness promotes healthy competition, hard work, high performance, patriotism, and quality service delivery among workers, both in public and private sectors. For any nation to be self-reliant and competitive in the international market, improved productivity must be applied in all sectors of the economy. To achieve this aim, the National Productivity Center, through the promotion of productivity consciousness, has continued to encourage workers to be productive through national policy on productivity, among which is the recognition to those who have been contributing to national development.
The National Productivity is a thoughtful incentive scheme designed to work affect productivity.
Since inception, 292 individuals and 71 organizations have been recognized. In this year's edition, 11 individuals and 2 organizations are to be honored with National Productivity Order of Merit Award later this week. Emmanuel Ayiniro, NTA News.
Up ahead, Kogi state and local governments need to take steps of mitigating flood. This will come your way after this time out. Stay tuned. reduction of the treasury single account is the focus on NTA Live this week. What does it mean and how does it operate? For answers to these and more, only on NTA Live. It's incisive, informative, and engaging. Don't be told. Join us. It's good to have you join us again. The state government says it is working with relevant authorities towards having a comprehensive rescue and evacuation plan in the event that the predicted flood occurs. Deputy Governor Yemi Awoniyi and Chairman Flood Management Committee said this after meeting with the management and executives of the 9 flood-prone local government areas. Correspondent Solomon Ayedi reports.
The meeting was necessitated by the likelihood of flooding from the release of water from Lago Dam in Cameroon and the alert by the relevant authorities. The chairman of the 9 flood-prone local government areas in Kogi State have been advised to devise ways of sensitizing their communities of the expected flood and the need to relocate to safer ground. The state government, Deputy Governor Yemi Awoniyi said, is monitoring the rising level of the water and they will keep on alerting people. However, past events have shown us that it can creep on us all of a sudden. Therefore, we must remain internally vigilant and start making adequate preparations for meeting at very short notice. While assuring on the state government's preparedness to mitigate likely effects of the expected flood, he prayed against a reoccurrence of the 2012 experience. The Executive Secretary, Kogi State Emergency Management Agency, Alice Ogedegbe said, relevant stakeholders are working hard to ensure that the expected flood does not have devastating effects, while the staff are undergoing training to enable them cope with the challenges that have come with the flood. In Lokoja, Solomon Ayedi, NTA News.
Farmers get inputs to boost agriculture in Benue State, just as Taraba State government takes steps to mitigate flooding. This and more with Pam in our Makodi studios. Pam, is over to you.
Following a warning to frontline states and communities living along River Benue from floods and the release of excess water from Lagdo Dam, the Taraba State government has put in place measures to mitigate the effect of the possible flooding. Correspondent Joseph Zanagambo has details.
When NCMA visited now, a community along the River Benue plains that was heavily hit by the devastating effect of the 2012 flooding, the water volume of the river has increased greatly due to heavy downpour that has already created panic and fear in the minds of the people. Some of the people living along the river bank expressed worry that the release of excessive water from the Lagdo Dam in Cameroon will further compound the problem and may lead to loss of lives and destruction of farm crops that are almost ready for harvest as well as their homes. They appeal to the state government to, as a matter of urgency, put in place preventive measures that will cushion the effect of the impending flood, especially the provision of alternative settlement for victims. Permanent Secretary, State Emergency Management Agency, Abu said, a meeting of all critical stakeholders has been held on how to respond to the warning alert issued by NEMA, and a proposal has since been forwarded to the state government for consideration. He said that the state, as one of the frontline states, was severely hit by the effect of the 2012 flood disaster, where lives were lost, properties worth millions of naira destroyed, and farmlands washed away. In Jalingo, Joseph Zanagambo, NTA News.
Agricultural production is receiving a boost in Benue State as plans have been concluded for the establishment of agro-allied industries and fertilizer production plants. This came to light during the distribution of assorted fertilizers and other farm inputs by Governor Samuel Otom in Makodi, the Benue State capital. Oche Mbedi reports.
Benue State, with the appellation the food basket of the nation, is an agrarian state and blessed with rich and natural resources including land. It is to ensure that farmers get the needed support to boost their productivity that the state government embark on the provision of various farm inputs. These include assorted fertilizers, improved seedlings and agrochemicals. Governor Samuel Otom reminded the people that
The exercise is in line with his campaign policies to pursue aggressive agriculture and rural development to address the challenges of food security in the state.
We work together with a common purpose of not only sustaining the position of the state as trade basket of the nation, but to bring our livelihood to increase productivity from our farming endeavors.
The Commissioner of Agriculture, Mr. James Abuja, emphasized that the policy direction of the state government, which is in line with that of the federal government, is meant to diversify the economy of the country to reduce our dependence on oil. In Makudi, Oche, Ubiri, NTA News.
And from Nasarawa State, the government has adopted measures to meet the educational needs of persons living with disabilities in the state in order to take them off the streets. Correspondent Joshua Ojito completes the report.
The plight of persons living with disability in the country leaves much to be desired, as many of them face discrimination, lack of conducive environments for learning, among others, thereby leaving them with no option than begging for alms on the streets. In Nasarawa State, the present administration of Governor Al-Mukura is taking steps to alleviate their plight and incorporate them into the larger society. Governor Al-Mukura initiated a comprehensive educational program for persons living with disability in the state, where 3 specialized schools have been constructed in each of the 3 senatorial zones. When completed, the schools, which are free, will run academic programs from elementary to tertiary levels, while the government has already entered into a partnership with a Gallaudet University in the United States of America for scholarship to outstanding students of the special schools. In addition, the state government is offering automatic employment to any physically challenged person who completed his tertiary education.
The structures are already in place where people who are deaf, people who are blind, people who are crippled, and including people that are intellectually disabled. And they will start enrollment from September this year.
Observers are of the view that with these initiatives by the state government, if backed by legislation, will go a long way in integrating people living with disability into the larger society, so that they will contribute their quota to nation building. In Lafia, Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
And that will be it from Makudi. It's over to you for the rest of Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you, Pam. The Christian teaching and love for one another practically manifested when the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints visited the Brazil Primary School, Kubwa, and the area one camp of the internally displaced persons, IDPs, in Abuja. Correspondent Kenneth Manning has details.
Out of love, the service to God and humanity, members of the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints visited internally displaced persons in Area 1 to provide them with food items, toiletries, and all other relief materials. While they assisted them in cleaning up the environment to keep them healthy, they also called on government and other spiritual individuals to help in providing them with decent accommodation.
We have to be of service to our fellow human beings. We need to be able to extend ourselves to assist other people.
The coordinator of the camp housing about 500 displaced persons, Mr. Idris Ibrahim, thanked the church for the gesture.
And we appreciate their contribution, their interest in our welfare, to have spared time and energy and resources to come and be with us with a thing of joy.
The church members did not stop at that, but extended the free service to the Azim Primary School, Kubwa, where the church is also undertaking renovation of the school to make teaching and learning conducive.
In fact, one of the times I visited, it was really, and I discovered that the whole place was really leaking, and I saw them packing themselves in one particular angle just to learn, and I felt really bad.
While they urged Nigerians to join hands to chase insurgency in the northeast, they also pledged to continue with the humanitarian service as it is part of their religious obligations. In Abuja, Kenneth Manning, NTA News.
You're watching NTA News nationwide. It's time to join Enugu, where preparations are in top gear by the Anambra State government to avoid effective flood. Stakeholders assess the impact of Millennium Development Goals in Anambra State. details of these and more with Children now in the Network Center. Hi, Children, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too, Agechi, and welcome to Enugu. In response to the recent prediction on flood by the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency, the people living in the riverine areas in Anambra State have adopted measures to avert the menace. Victor Azu has a report.
The Abadi area was one of the worst hit in Anambra State by the 2012 flood. Farms, documents, and other properties were lost. How well are the people prepared to combat a similar experience? If the prediction of the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency, NISA, comes true. The chairman of the Abadi Local Government Council says that apart from sensitizing the people to stop blocking the water channels, the council has taken other steps aimed at mitigating the effects of the flood if it comes.
Already we have started preparing life jackets. We have stopped mosquito nets. We are preparing some of the primary schools which we use as a base.
They called on the federal government to dredge the River Niger as an additional precaution. Other states predicted to be flood-prone are Niger, Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, Taraba, Nasarawa, Kebbi, Sokoto, Adamawa, Kogi, and Benue states. Senatary Victor Azu, NTA News.
Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano has donated two 16-seater IVM buses to Nigerian Television Authority in Onitsha and Oka. Governor Obiano, representing the buses, charged the two stations to educate and sensitize the people on issues of urgent importance. Chidi Ozubu has a report.
The presentation of the buses is in fulfillment of the promise made to the management of NTA and after during a Kasika to the governor. Governor Obiano noted that no government can make any meaningful impact in the lives of its citizens without the media. He therefore enjoined the management of the two stations to sensitize the grassroots on government's programs and policies.
This establishment requires some support to be able to get to the unique identity of Anambra State and helping us to disseminate information. Information is critical in what we're doing.
The general manager of NTA Onitsha, Elder Ugochukwu Okekiti, comments.
I feel so elated. This is the second time the state government is telling me that they really care about this station. We are going to ensure that we give him the kind of maximum coverage and cooperation that he deserves.
This is the second bus to be donated to the station by the Anambra State government within the space of 16 months. In Onitsha, Chidi Ozubu, NTA News.
Lack of maintenance culture and continuity of some government projects and programs have been identified as factors militating against the welfare of people at the grassroots. Innocent Abo in this report assesses the impact of Millennium Development Goals since inception in Ebonyi State.
Objectives to the Millennium Development Goals 4, 5, 6, and 7 have been geared towards reducing maternal and infant mortality, fight HIV, malaria, implementing sustainability and universal basic education. As the project winds down, the state commissioners of local government and rural development embarked on launching of all the NDC projects to ascertain the level of functionality and impact on rural dwellers. These projects are meant for the social and educational advancement of the state. And that's why this team have been inspecting all these projects. I don't know how this school would have been like if not for this project. The participating NDC observed that the project, which commenced in 2009 in the state, has achieved about 80% of its objectives, which include increased children in school enrollment and access to health care, among others. The traditional rulers or the community leaders should make haste to go to the local government and pick up their jobs in their different directors of primary health care office. This is the opinion of the local government to participate in the ongoing sustainable development goals. It is expected that the project will not only be maintained but improved upon. In Abakaliki, Innocent Abo, NTA.
That's it from Enugu, Ogechi Evening. To you for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Chibano. Thank you, Mr. White. Continues after this timeout. Do join us again. Remarkable potential to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, good nation.
Bulletin continues. Worried over high level of substandard products in the country, the Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, has introduced what it calls Operation E-Flush to eliminate fake and substandard products from the market. The initiative is in partnership with civil society organizations under the aegis of Standards Awareness Group. Ruben Okala reports.
Apart from posing a danger to people's health, substandard products also contribute negatively to the economy. Statistics from the regulator indicate that more than 40% of products in the Nigerian market are substandard. In 2014, over 5 billion naira worth of substandard goods were intercepted and destroyed by the regulator Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON. Operation E-Flush is geared towards enforcing standards in the country.
Clearly, it's a huge impact, and until we get it to around 10%, however, that is where we should be. When you go to buy a product, you have to ask certain questions. And that's why this campaign is about ask well. Usually we are because we are affect everybody. So the price will be part of everybody. But we need to lead. We need to take the first step and show you what is really necessary.
Members of the civil society groups were later inducted into Operation E-Flush to serve as vanguards of standards across the country.
The Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, is using the Operation E-Flush to convert for zero tolerance for substandard products in the country. In Abuja, Ruben Okala, NTV. About 1.7 million children in Nigeria have been diagnosed to be malnourished, according to a recent statistics released by United Nations Children's Fund in collaboration with Federal Ministry of Health. Malnutrition, CMAM, UNICEF has reached out to 1 million children, and intervention has saved about 200,000 of these young ones. Despite this intervention, UNICEF stakeholders say malnutrition still remains in Nigeria. UNICEF intervention is to save children suffering from this problem, as the needs assessment of 2009 allowed only 11 high-risk states in northern Nigeria to benefit from this program.
So if a government is supporting maternal and child health, it has impact. If a government is supporting issues of the mother, indirectly
it is translated to improving the quality of the children she's likely to have.
It was brought to Nigeria. We started in two states, very small scale, and since that time it's been brought to 11 states. Really the states where the majority of minority children are there, and see that the numbers of children being reached every year has been increasing. And this year we expect to reach more than 300,000 children with the program. So that way tremendous
advocacy and the need for expectant mothers to visit health facilities for antenatal is necessary as malnutrition could be detected during pregnancy. Speaker House of Representatives Yakubu Dogara has commiserated with the government and people of Abuja State over the death of Emir of Misau, Nigerian Muhammad Manga III. A statement by his Special Advisor on Media and Public Affairs, Tuyati Hassan, the Speaker described the late monarch as a selfless leader who served his people with the fear of God, praying that God gives the family the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss. The federal government has restated its commitment to bequeathing the nation a totally reformed, reoriented, well-equipped and highly motivated Nigerian police that will protect the citizens from committing crime and guarantee their safety and security. President Muhammadu Buhari said this at a National Security Summit organized by the Nigerian Police, and that the administration will encourage states to come up with viable community policing model at the grassroots. Studios correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
The summit coming at a time when national security is at the front burner of national discourse is designed to galvanize citizen support for the Nigeria Police and other law enforcement agencies in the renewed drive towards addressing prevailing challenges of security.
The guide the national security by the Inspector General of Police. Thank you very much.
President Muhammadu Buhari described as imperative community input to policing and crime management in view of the current national security challenges in which insurgency, kidnapping, armed robbery and transnational crimes have evolved to threaten national values and overall progress of the country. To this end, he promised to ensure that at least 10,000 additional police officers are employed, while properly trained and equipped anti-terrorism multi-agency task force is established to effectively address the challenge of future insurgency in a sustainable manner. He also said CCTV monitoring system will be expanded across major cities and towns in the country to further strengthen the security of the public space.
Assuring that our administration will be quick to this nation a reform, reorientated, well-trained, well-equipped, and highly motivated police force. This dream can only be attained with the support of the students.
President Buhari commended the Inspector General of Police for dismantling the roadblocks across Nigeria, which constituted a dark side of policing, introducing a safer highway motorized patrol scheme and discouraging pre-trial detention of citizens.
This initiative, if properly implemented, will undoubtedly address those factors that strengthen public confidence in the police, and hence create good ground for the practice of community-led policing to flourish. I am asking the police not only to say, but to do, as we are promising Nigeria.
In a keynote address, Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, said efforts at reforming and repositioning the Nigeria Police and other security agencies in tune with changing times must be reciprocated by joining the crusade against corruption.
The President, we are 100% in support of your fight against corruption in this country. And it's our belief that anyone found guilty should not only have their entire assets seized and forfeited to government, but also face jail sentences. Those who so interfere to corrupt our national institutions from the outside must face the same consequences as those who do it from within. Encourage the spirit of police community partnership as a strategy towards addressing our crime and national security challenges.
There were goodwill messages from the Police Service Commission, Ministry of Police Affairs and the Police Community Relations Committee, while former Abia State Governor Oji Uzokalu expressed optimism that President Buhari's effort at stamping out Boko Haram and other crimes can be enriched by the outcome of the summit. In Abuja, Adam Sambu, NTA News.
Thank you, Sambu. And to a bit of sports now. Nigeria's unmarried golfers promised to defend their country's name in Kenya as Nigeria Taekwondo Federation selects Team for All Africa Games. Correspondent Amazon Marcos reports.
Nigeria's contingent to the 2015 African Junior Under-17 Boys and Girls Golf Championship in Mombasa, Kenya, departed the country Sunday with a promise to do the nation proud. The Nigeria Golf Federation believes that the Kenyan Open, due to tee off on Tuesday, is a major boost to the development of at the grassroots level.
We believe that Africa will win the game of golf in a not too distant future.
We promise to play good golf to enjoy ourselves and be good ambassadors of the country.
Following the conclusion of this national trials on Monday in Abuja, the Nigeria Taekwondo Federation has selected some athletes.
I apologize for those freezes in the course of that report. And to a quick weather check. So that's it for this edition of NTA News Nationwide. Thanks for watching.